And today we have with us Ryan Hartley, who just completed work on his first short film entitled Bagboy. Pleasure to have you, Ryan.
Thanks, man. Alright, thanks for doing this. I'm excited.
Now, Ryan, for those who don't know you, could you perhaps explain a little bit about who you are and just a little bit of background information on you?
My name is Ryan Hartley, and I'm 21 years old. And I'm currently enrolled at Murray State right now. My major is television production, and I just had an idea one day and just made a film. So here I am.
So what got you into wanting to do something like this?
Well, I had always helped people with their other projects and things like that. So I never really had anything that I could call my own, And so I think that's what mostly this was about. And I don't know. I think it started about 4 years ago when I had the idea, and I was just going through an old notebook of some drawings I had, and it was just like a skinny boy wearing a paper bag, and it sort of just clicked on me right then and there. So
take a minute and explain to us what Bagboy is essentially about.
Bagboy is about this couple who moves into this fictional town where everything is based off of looks, and the couple isn't as fortunate as everybody else, and so they get harassed and picked on, and this goes on for years. And then they have a son, and it continues, and the son is out playing with some neighborhood kids one day, and there's a fire that gets started near their house, and they get caught in the house. The mom, the dad, and the son, they get caught in the house, and there's a fire, and they try calling 911, but no one comes, and then they think that they're dead, but only their faces were severely burned. And so it's years later now, and the boy, he's in school now, he's getting picked on and everything, and he's getting to the point where he's had enough. And then so that's where the film takes place. That's where I give a little bit of background information, which was a big problem for me because I didn't know if I was giving enough or not. And so the film takes place, he's in high school, and then there's about 3 main villains, 4 maybe, which are the typical high school stereotypes of people. Like, there's the jock, the bully, and then there's the cutie, the cheerleader, and then there's the slacker, druggy, stoner. So, and then they're all picking on him, and then he's had enough.
So Ryan, could you take a minute and explain to everyone the process that you have to do in order to get something like this made? And because a lot of people might just think you one day picked up the camera and decided to roll, and that's not the case.
It did take many years. I think I spent an hour writing it, and a year talking about it, and a year planning it, and then a year shooting it, and then a year of editing it with music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a hard process. Yeah. It's difficult. I think the trick though is, I don't know, I would say scheduling was the worst at this. Just trying to schedule around everybody's their own schedule, because they have their own lives.
So the hardest part of the whole process of making Bagboy was during production, and it was getting everyone on the same page as far as getting their schedules lined up.
I would, and it's all a huge blur to me now. I don't really remember filming any of it, and it was so quick, and I think timing is everything in life, and so I think that if I hadn't made it when I did, that it probably wouldn't have ever gotten made, because everyone was going off to college and doing their own thing. So I'm really glad I made it when I did.
Mm-hmm. So could you just tell us a little bit about the premiere of Bagboy, where it's going to be and when and all that information?
It's going to take place on the day of July 14th at 7 p.m. at the bowling center in Martin at the college campus and everything. It's where everyone has their own proms and stuff like that, and it's theater downstairs, the Watkins Auditorium. It's a pretty good theater.
So what's next for Ryan Hartley? Do you have something lined up, or are you just gonna let the juices flow and stuff like that?
I don't know. I talked to a friend of mine. He said that once you get one done, that there's this sort of snowball effect, like avalanche, you know, and you just want to keep going and continue with it. And that's sort of what I want to do, but I don't really know if I have anything that's worth putting that much effort into again. Because this film is really weird. I call it wacky horror. That's a good way to describe it. And I think the reason why I made it was because this is the only way I can explain it to people, really, because it's such a weird idea and concept. It's if you have something that's on your mind, like if you're at work, if you're at your job, and you have something that's on your mind or something that you have to do, and you're always thinking about it, and you think that, like, I can't really get to my work unless I get this thing done, you know, and you're like, oh, if I could just get this thing done, then I can actually work. And so that's what I think Bagboy was for me. It was just this idea that kept, like, pinching and pulling on me, like, hey, come give me, you know. And so,
well, Ryan, I want to thank you for taking a minute for us to talk, and it was great talking to you for a minute.